Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I thought I'd come out here and just get out of the house and before it gets dark, and I almost didn't make it. It's 7:04 p.m. and I'm like, really? It's already getting this dark? But we all know how that works. you know, I can remember when it was 9 o'clock. But anyway, it goes every year. We know this. But it just seems to come up so fast. Everything's gone so fast during this time lately. But this video, I want to talk about two things that these narcissistic, what I call is a narcissistic-histrionic blend of behaviors and people that I know. I'm not diagnosing them with any kind of disorder, but they're behaviors as I see them. It's a blend. And you'll read the disclaimer in the description box below this video on YouTube. Anyway, but the behaviors of when, it's two of them. And one of them was when they act very childlike and like they haven't matured. I know a lot of people tend to say that narcissistic people haven't matured past the age of 2 and a certain developmental stage. I don't know that it wasn't only 2 from what I remember. It's been years. My degrees are in psychology and sociology, but it was also another stage during the teenage years that was similar to that in the around 2 years old in developmental psychology. And basically when they're so, it's all about them, and that's the more of the narcissistic. But what I've seen, like I said, narcissistic-histrionic blend, and they're very childlike. It's as though they haven't really graduated from high school yet. It's some childish stage or phase, and they just continued on with it into adulthood and late, even midlife, the middle adulthood, and possibly even after that, probably so. Yeah. And there's that, and then the whole thing of some of them. Now these are the ones I've seen, I've known. I'm not saying that it's all of them, not 100% across the board. One size doesn't fit all. It's not that they all do this. Those with histrionic and narcissistic behaviors. But the ones I know, the ones I'm talking about, yeah. And the other one is when they say, this always gets me, that there's no more common sense these days. Well, to them, common sense is how they see things, and that everybody else should see everything the way they do. Okay? And if they don't have any common sense. Now, their common sense isn't making much sense. Really. I could sum it all up with that. Their common sense doesn't make any sense. And it's often just some kind of, there's a concept, illusory pattern perception. They just don't connect the dots right. They see patterns in randomness. Okay? And on and on and on it goes from there. But basically their common sense isn't all that common either, and common sense all around. How can you say any common sense when people have so many different views on so many different things? But they believe there's no common sense because there's not enough people who think like they do. Okay. Anyway, pardon the view, but it's just too noisy in the house, as usual. I usually do mine out here when I really feel like it. But now the first one about they act so childlike, and really it can be like like teenagers. And I don't know about you, but when I was a kid in school, teenagers, it was quite a while ago, they had a thing of wearing t-shirts and blue jeans, and I think they still do. It really depends on where you live. I live in Texas, but the thing was blue jeans and t-shirts, and often t-shirts with, whatever on some kind of saying or whatever on it. It wasn't just like a black or white or whatever color shirt. It had something written on it. And blue jeans were blue jeans. And whatever was in fashion, like when I was young, it was Wrangler. And Wranglers. Wrangler? Yeah. Anyway, and now the people who are adults, say around my age now, I'm 57, still want to dress the same way they did when they were in high school. Blue jeans, t-shirt kind of thing. And now I don't have anything against that, but it just depends on their purpose. Okay. Sorry about that. My goodness, I come out here every time I start coughing and sneezing like crazy. Allergies. I have allergies. I've had them, I think, all my life. Oh, it's ridiculous, especially since it's fall. Oh man. But anyway, so now back to what is their purpose? What is their reasoning behind that? Now, some people, they're just comfortable in blue jeans and t-shirt. That's fine. But these are people who seem to want to make a statement with their t-shirt. Let's talk about women. They're not always women, but let's just say it's women. But they want to make a major statement with their t-shirt. And with the histrionic thing, what I've known and what you can hear other people say is, the histrionics, they want to be women, men too, want to be very provocative, or like they dress very provocative. Some of them, not all in any of this. And my experience is, as they age, when they're young, yeah, but as they age, they get less provocative, but they become more. They don't wear something that you could practically see through and see everything, like a shirt or whatever, or pants too tight, real tight. It's more of that, well, you might be able to see, too far down. The shirt's a little bit too far down for, common. What's common? But no, really. They wear them to where you practically see everything. But with the age, not as much, but still a little bit. But what they want to do is they still want to draw attention to their breasts. So they wear t-shirts that has something right across the breast. It says something right across their breast, so people will look right at that breast. Very common. But really, the purpose that I have seen, and I can tell a story about this one woman from years ago. It is to stand out and to basically say they haven't aged. To say they're so youthful, and they're not the old fuddy-duddies. They're not going to be old fuddy-duddies. And that story I was going to say, I guess it was within the past 10 years or so. I went to something. I don't know if I want to tell this story, really, but basically, it's this woman that told me she was around my age that I am now. So I was much younger than, about 10 years or so. And she basically told me that I needed to dress a lot younger. I don't dress old. Okay. I dress my age. And no, it's not common sense, but yeah, I don't dress like I am 20. And she was dressed like she was about 20 years old. And she was telling me I need to dress. And she did things like she would hop on a table. It was a business. And hop on a table and stuff and swirl around, and it's like, whoa, she was in her 50s, and she had to be a center of attention. She just had to be. And everybody else, people around my age, they dressed about the same, as I. We're not the same exact thing. We're not in uniforms. But it's not like we're 30 years younger. I remember one time I said that years ago. I did. And on a blog. And somebody says, well, what is that? They were real sarcastic. You can tell when they got so defensive that there's not something age-appropriate dressing. Way people wear their clothes, what kind of clothes they wear. Anyway, they get very defensive. But overall, there's a big combination. Now, people around my age, sometimes do different things with the way we were, but it's the purpose behind it. I don't know how I can explain this well enough to make it, since it's the what's underlying all of this reason, underlying why they're doing this. Now, like if somebody puts a streak in their hair that's a different color, well, people around my age, we couldn't do that when we were young. I don't think there was anything. I remember when I was a teenager, there was one young woman, she was goth, and she colored her hair dark black. But we really didn't have these things that you could color your hair different colors, like purple, or put a red streak in, or whatever. So yeah, when you get older, you say, I want to try that. I just want to try that once in my life. I just want to see what it looks like. And sometimes it's kind of cool. Like a lot of times I've seen more recently, people color the very front part, women, of their hair is like a grayish color, and then the rest a different color. Okay, that's one thing. But when it continues, when it's added to so many other behaviors, and what is the purpose behind it? Is the purpose they don't want to grow up? They don't want to get older. They want everybody to think they're young, and that they can shine and stand out and get all the attention in the world. Have it. They don't care if it's negative or positive. They want all the attention on them and everybody off of everybody else. And they're going to say that everybody else who's not like that is an old fuddy-duddy, or cut them down, or, you see what I'm saying? They're going to be abusive toward others who aren't like them. See? Okay, barely got that out before another allergy reaction. Oh my goodness, what is this? My SUV it was new May of last year. I bought it new. It doesn't even have 3,000 miles on it still. It's 2,956 miles because of the pandemic and all. And people, like Adam gets it, he says, it still has that new car smell, and I think that's what it is. The new car smell. I don't smell it, I guess because I got so used to it. I never did smell it. And I usually smell everything really, really strong as it is. But this, I will cough and sneeze as soon as I get in my SUV. So maybe that's what it is. Anyway, there was that. And like I said, the whole common sense thing follows down the same line. They are perfect to them. They know it all. They have the common sense. They have the correct way of thinking all around. And usually their logic is not logic. It's just illogical. They have some bizarre ways of taking something besides stealing everybody else's thoughts and stuff, and often they spin it, or they just say it right flat out because they don't really know what they're talking about, and they don't realize what they're saying when they say it. And that makes sense, doesn't it? You get the gist. But like I said, they have to have that attention. So therefore, there's no common sense left anymore. But they are the shining examples everybody should see. That's how they see it. These glorious examples of what's common sense, and how people should think, and how people should dress, and how people should do their hair, how people should do this, that, and the other. Otherwise, they're fuddy-duddies. They're going to cut them down. They're going to use verbal abuse or emotional abuse, any kind. They will be abusive verbally. Let's just say verbally abusive toward anybody who doesn't admire them, doesn't glorify them, who doesn't act like them, who opposes them. Any of them that say, you're wrong. No. And they're really good at getting, I call them the mean girls. They haven't grown up from mean girls from high school, junior high. Well, we had junior high when I was growing up, but middle school, any grade. They have not grown up past that. Okay? They're the mean girls. And they have their little flocks of flying monkeys. Like Wizard of Oz, flying monkeys. They'll go out and do all their bidding. Maybe they just want to be, some of them. Anyway. That thought was on my mind today, really. So, whenever I hear somebody say, there's just no common sense anymore, and you have to ask them, define common sense? You might find some really twisted thinking. It's all about the way they see it. Anyway, I'm wrapping this up. It's getting really dark. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.